from hillbilly crime. You can't hide from hillbilly crime. You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair. Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dog passed away, get the sound of a shotgun shell. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound. Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines. Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't mask the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise. All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be
Hello, 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 everybody. Happy holidays. Happy holidays. How are you? Come on in, come on in. My name is Elizabeth, and this is Hillbilly Crime. We are going to look at a very, very interesting case. It is several years old, but the way that we are going to talk about it tonight, I don't think has been talked about, you know. So anyway, come on in, come on in. Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let's see. Smick says it has come out the coach prior to Turner also was charged with the same thing. Well, now, I had told you all, I think it was our very first show, the very first show that we talked about him. We found another coach, or well, he coached on that team, so I guess he was a coach. And he had been, I didn't know, I don't think he was the head coach. That's the only thing that I thought was different, because remember, I heard that Coach Turner started that football program at that school. And his father had been a coach. I'm not sure exactly. Boys, let Pup in before she starts barking, please. I'm not sure what school his dad taught at, but Alan, Let her in before she starts barking. But so we've had a teacher and a coach prior to Turner at that same school who was absolutely charged and convicted of the same thing. I'm not sure exactly what charges he was convicted of, but it was in the same vicinity of charges of crimes. They were sexual in nature, and they were with minors. I don't know if it's students or just minors. And we don't know about Coach Turner yet. We don't know anything yet. Marnie says, and people, including the principal, allegedly knew what was going on. It's been going on for a while, allegedly. Well, you guys, let's see, Smick, and it's Eastern Kentucky. Those things have been going on for years. I mean, right in our very own courthouse, it was going on for years, even though every single person knew about it, but nobody wants to admit it. Because if they admit it, then that means liability. Liability and accountability. People can no longer say, oh, well, I didn't know anything about it. Then they have to answer the questions. Why didn't you say something? And, if there were more than one person that knew, which obviously they did, why didn't they go as a group? Like if you've got one person that's coming forward, say a sheriff who's trying to come forward, just say, I'm just throwing out a scenario. Say a sheriff was trying to get somebody's attention over it, and nobody wanted to really listen to that sheriff. Say somebody else had come forward to try and say something about it. Well, they can pretty much silence them too. Come here, what you got? It when it's one person. But if you had, say you had a sheriff, a prosecutor, and a cop. Say you had all three of people in those roles that came to the governor or the attorney general together. The Bible, doesn't it say, what's the scripture talking about? It's easy to break one strand, but it's a lot harder to break a 3 wrapped cord. Sorry, it's just went straight out of my brain. I know what I'm trying to say, but the words are escaping me greatly. Marnie, you know the Bible really well, I've noticed. What is the one I'm trying to think of? It's harder to break a 3 cord. My cats are just tearing my house down. Oh, she's got one of those little medicine containers, that you'd pour, say, some NyQuil or something in. She's got one of them little cups, and she's just patting it all over the house. Okay. All right, so let me move on to the show. I know you guys will say it. There. The one may be overpowered. 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Thank you. If you've got 3 people that are coming in agreement to say, hey, this is happening, and we know this is happening, and we need your help to stop it, because we don't really know how to go about doing that. Wouldn't that be the appropriate response? Wouldn't that be what you would want them to do? Your law enforcement and people who you have elected to be your county's leaders. I mean, that's what I would have expected them to do. That's what I would have expected somebody, whether it was a sheriff, a prosecutor, and a cop, or whether it was a magistrate, a judge executive, and say a jailer. It could have also just been 3 magistrates. I mean, take your pick. It could have been a mayor. It could have been a city councilman. It could have been anybody that knew what was happening and chose to stay quiet and not say anything. And now here we are. And we can apply that straight with Coach Turner and Coach Turner's situation. You can apply that right to that school, and not just that school, not just that one. Thank you, Marnie. Though one may be overpowered, 2 can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. I mean, I live by, even though I didn't remember the words, I live by these kinds of things. I truly do, Thank you, Marnie. I just saw it. I apologize. We got the best mods in the business, y'all. I wish you'd stop, little girl. You're making an awful big noise. My goodness. All right, tonight, Hillbillies, we are going to pull the curtain back on one of the wildest dirty cop scandals in the country. The case of Deputy Zachary Wester, a deputy who was caught planting drugs, methamphetamine. That's a very, very bad drug. Can you imagine being a church leader or anybody being ball mom and driving down the road and a cop pulling you over? You ain't never had methamphetamine in your vehicle a day in your life. But a cop pulls you over and all of a sudden he's finding some in a search of your vehicle. What would you do? What would you do? Fabricating evidence, which I think happens a whole lot. I think it happens a whole lot more than what people want to admit. That not just with planting evidence in our vehicles, but also things like perjury, going to a grand jury, and lying under oath. That's pretty bad, right? That's fabricating evidence. That's perjury. And wrecking the lives of people who trusted the badge, because we all did at one time. We have all been conditioned and raised to respect and trust law enforcement. If you are in trouble, if you need help, you go to the police, you call the police. Or at least that's the way that I was raised. I think that's the way that TV and society pretty much raises us. Now, of course, we're going to have extremes on both ends of the spectrum. You are also going to have exceptions to every rule. Okay. But as a society, we are basically taught that if you need help, you call the police. When I needed help finding my son, we called the police, even though every fiber of my being said not to. Even though my gut said no, don't do it. My pastor kept saying, I think we should call the police. I said, no, he's here. We don't need to call the police. We just ain't found him yet. He's here somewhere. We just ain't found him yet. And he said, Elizabeth, I really think we should call the police. He said, it's not going to hurt anything to call them. That's what they're there for, is to help. Yeah, right. That was a big mistake. And my pastor even saw it afterwards. He saw how big of a mistake that was afterwards. I was accused of everything under the sun. I was accused of unaliving him and burying him in my basement. The unbelievable experience that changed me and my children forever. That was such a traumatic experience, and it lasted for 6 years. It cost me $6,000 in legal fees and 6 years of my life to prove my innocence. Thanks, Alan Borums. I really appreciate you. Now, I did win in the end, but at what cost? I was not prepared to pay the cost just because one police officer thought whatever. I guess he was offended. He got offended. I hurt his feel-bads. And he was going to make me pay the price for hurting his feel-bads. Now, we see it all the time. We see how the badge can be manipulated, abused, misused. Okay, but here's the twist in this case. He didn't get caught because someone stood up for the truth. No, he didn't get caught because the system wanted justice. He got caught because he became a problem for the system, a liability. And tonight, we're going through the official records, the documents they thought would protect them, and we're going to read between the lines. The FDLE investigation, the official version. All right, now their press release was from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. It says that they opened the investigation in August of 2018, but only after the sheriff's office requested it. They admit that Wester manipulated his body cam by turning it off and on to hide the planting of evidence. They list that bagged meth and drug paraphernalia found in his patrol car were ready to plant. They say the FDLE spent 1,400 hours reviewing videos, interviews, and evidence. Well, 1,400 hours? Honey, in Appalachia, they won't give you 14 seconds to report a dirty cop unless you're already dead. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to pull up. We're going to look at just we've got a couple of his body cams, and we're going to watch these. Okay, sorry. I clicked on that and they all started. Okay. This is his body cam. Hit that like button for us. Really? Is that true?
Do what now?
I said, if you find any money, I come up missing $5 at the hospital.
All right, I'll see if I can find it for you.
She's a grandma that was eating yogurt. That was her yogurt spoon. That was not a dope spoon. But he already had it in his hand. He already had it in his hand before he ever got out. Ready to plant it.
Here's $5 in your wallet.
Where the hell did you find it?
In your wallet?
Where in my... Oh, no.
That's something different there.
No. That's the bad check. That's
Oh.
That's what brings me down. Should be more than $5 with that.
Yeah, there he is.
And see, he's distracting her with that $5 stuff. Okay. We got some more. These are just a couple minutes long, each of these. But they are the evidence that they used in his trial. He went to trial. We're going to watch a little bit of it.
How are you? Yeah, me too.
And that's her. She's a witness in the trial.
Do what?
My 50th birthday present from my dad.
How'd they do that?
She had it made. Apparently she thinks I'm special.
It's your daughter. You're supposed to be special.
I don't blame you, Snick.
Or Deputy Haycare, make sure you don't get run over, okay? I have faith that he will.
I want to get on
Must
the road.
still have it off.
If I do, it's all on y'all.
You ain't gonna get ran over. If you want, just sit right here. Right here.
So they get me.
If they hit anything that hit the cars, you'll be fine. Where you come from today?
I went to see somebody who gave me a bad check, actually.
Really?
Look, would you like? You
I'm
don't even
not
want to
sure
go back
why
to the
the
still?
volume ain't working
God.
What?
unless they've got it turned off.
Getting over. What the hell is her problem?
She was fine.
That's fucking crazy. That's totally ridiculous. I mean, ain't there a move out?
No, you're right. There is. You're absolutely right.
Mm.
Cut over out of the right lane into the left lane right there with his butt in it. Common sense. People
Alan, don't be
He said
picking
common
on,
sense
don't be
people
picking
laugh.
on her.
Go.
Wonder if it. Well, it's got to be mine. I don't know why.
Do you have anything on you, Miss Hope?
I said I didn't have anything on me in the truck.
Oh, okay, but do you have anything on your purse? Is what
I
I'm
have
asking.
nothing on me to my knowledge at all. And I'm not trying to be ugly.
I don't know why it's not. The sound ain't playing on that. I have no idea. It's playing on the other. Let me try this other. See if it's just that one. We'll pull that down. And we'll shut up. Yeah, this one's playing. I don't know why the other one wasn't.
Okay.
Bella.
Driggers. Mr. Driggers, do you live here in this area in Jackson County?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall getting pulled over by a sheriff's deputy
Yes,
on
sir.
the evening of February 9th, 2018?
Yes, sir.
And where were you coming from and where were you going to?
I was coming from work and going home.
Was there anybody else in the car with you?
No, sir.
The car that you were in, who did that belong to?
Me,
How often did you drive it?
every day.
At that time in February of 2018, was there anybody else who was regularly riding in
No, sir.
it? You're married, correct?
Yes, sir.
Your wife has some health problems, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Did she ride in the car regularly?
No, sir.
Would you tell us how it was you first realized you were getting pulled over and what you did?
I happened to look back and I seen lights. They were quite a bit away from me or whatever. So I pulled over and I was thinking it was going to go around me or whatever, but he pulled up behind me. And that's how it started.
All right. And did that deputy make contact with you and tell you the reason for him stopping you?
Yes, sir.
What did he tell you the reason was?
My headlight.
Okay. Do you know if there were problems with your headlights at that time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And what was that?
It had rain and my the glass part over the bulb or whatever, when it rained, it busted it out. So it had just got done raining or whatever, and it busted it. And I was aware it was broken.
Well, Judge, at this time, I would move to publish State's Exhibit 6F, as in Frank, a disc of a body camera video from this from Mr. Triggers.
You may publish it.
Okay, specifically, there are two files on this disc. The first one that we're publishing at this time is titled Traffic Stop.
Does the court need to read any instruction on this disc, sir?
No.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Triggers, before Mrs. Bittner starts this video, are you able to see that on the screen in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Ms. Bittner, could you start the video, please?
2554, 1050 Florida. Florida's 6 Sierra 3 Juliet Papa. Be on a silver in color Chevy sedan. Be at St. Phillips Road and Highway 2. The Sierra may be a 5. Hey man, how's it going? Hey, Deputy Westwood Sheriff's Office. Oh my goodness. Reason for my stop is you only have one headlight, sir. Were you aware of that?
Yes, sir. I just ain't had the money to fix it.
Okay.
I had put another bulb in it, but
Yes,
it got some busted lens. When it rained the last time, it busted it back out.
Okay. All right. And you live on Klondike still?
No, sir. I live on 5800 Perry View.
Perry View? Okay. All right. Just hang tight, man.
Possible hot file hit.
Florida 27. Delta 626 741 79 1020 1048. Okay.
1049, driver class Diego.
10 minutes.
This time I'm going to publish the second video on that disc. It's labeled DSC only.
Any instruction on this one, sir?
No, Judge.
You may publish it.
Out of town that last
No,
time?
sir. Probably a couple of years. I usually help them there when the peanut mill opens up. I work up there. And
Oh,
I
okay.
don't work at the store then. Whenever I get done, I come back and help.
I mean, there's nothing. This is a little bit paraphernalia. I ain't worried about that.
Oh, I didn't know that was
Okay.
But that's all there is. So
Okay. That's all I'm gonna find then.
Yeah, so.
Now, Mr. Driggers, at this point, we see that you are out of the car, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, tell us how you got how that came to be. You got out of the car.
He came back and asked me if he could search my car because he smelled marijuana, and I told him he could.
You told him that he could.
Yes, sir.
Well, let me ask you this: was there any marijuana in the car?
They found a little container that had previously had some in it, but it wasn't no actual marijuana in the car.
Okay. Well, had you been smoking marijuana in the car before this stop?
It was like a month before.
Okay. You said there was a container that there was some marijuana in, that there was some in there, correct?
There wasn't. There was like residue in there.
Residue.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you tell him about that?
No, sir. I had forgot all about it because, like I said, it was a month ago before I had anything in there like that.
Had you been smoking cigarettes in the car?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Kind of like a cigarette.
Okay. And just to be clear, did you argue with him in any way before you got out of the car and he started to search?
I just asked them why every time they pulled me over, why they want to search me for every time.
Okay.
But other than that, it wasn't nothing.
Okay. Now, while he was searching your car, do you remain in this area that we see here on the camera, or are you ever back at your car watching him search it right next to him?
No, sir.
Okay.
I
Ms. Bittner, I'm sorry?
stayed in the same spot.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video, please?
Or 10-4, Jack. Or 10-4, Jack.
45-10-4.
We're 10-4 Jackson, signal 77. $25.45. We're 10-4.
10-48, 25-70, 10-74. 10-4.
Ms. Bittner, could you pause it again briefly? Mr. Driggers, a moment ago when this video started, we see the deputy who's performing the search of your car asking you about what he's found in the car and asked if he's going to find anything else, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. And clearly there's a second deputy on scene as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Do you recall at what point that second deputy arrived on scene? Was he there at the time you got pulled over?
I think by the time I got out the car and everything, he was there.
And the defendant, I'm sorry, the deputy who's performing the search of your car is asking you about something that he's already found in that car, that marijuana, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Had he already been in your car and started his search?
Yes, sir. I believe so.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. He's asking you about that, correct, at the beginning of this video?
Yes, sir.
And that was in your car you discovered, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ms. Bittner, could you resume the video?
Not gonna find anything else.
That's not mine.
You use methamphetamine?
No, sir. I swear. No, sir.
Okay.
That's not even mine. I don't know where
Okay.
those came from.
possibly.
I don't have needle marks.
What is it that he just showed you, Mr.
A
Driggers?
needle that had foil wrapped around it.
All right, and we heard what you said. Just to be clear, what was your reaction?
Shocked and nervous, trying to figure out what was going on.
Was there anything like that in your car?
No, sir.
All right, Ms. Bittner, could you rewind about 10 seconds and resume? All right, go ahead and resume the video, please.
Methamphetamine?
No, sir. I swear,
Cocaine?
no, sir. That's not even mine. I don't
Okay,
know where
thank
that
God.
came from. I don't have needle marks on me. I don't use them. Look, I'm even right in my vehicle with me. I promise that needle's not mine.
I'm not going to ask you any direct questions yet. Okay, I do want to read you your rights for asking you direct questions. I can ask you this. If you had anybody else riding the vehicle with you that maybe uses
This is my
methamphetamine,
wife.
buddy?
She don't use it. I had to pick up somebody a while back.
Okay.
That's pretty hard.
Mr. Driggers, how long do you remember how long it had been since somebody else had been in that car with you?
Probably a month.
Could you please resume the video?
We're status 10, Jack. Just hang out right there, man. You good, man? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did a test?
if I knew that thing you do, if I remember it wasn't, I would have gave it to you from the get-go.
I mean, just because I'm reading your rights, okay? It's just a formality that we do, okay? What the state of Florida requires me to do. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer for advice before we ask you any questions and have him or her present during questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you before any questioning if you so desire. If you decide to answer questions without a lawyer present, you still have the absolute right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to stop answering questions at any time until you talk to a lawyer. Do you understand each of those rights I've explained to you? Tonight, have you requested myself or Deputy Maloney to talk to a lawyer? Yeah. Have you yet? No. Okay. All right. Having the rights of mind, do you wish to talk to us now? About what it's yes or no. I can't go by.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I want to cooperate with y'all.
Okay. All right.
I didn't have no idea that was even
okay.
Sir, that's not even mine.
Now, I told you the reason for my stop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Came back. Told you I smelled a little bit of odor of marijuana. You told me that you smoked in there in the past, yes, right? Yes, then you made the statement that you could go ahead and search it. It's fine. Yes, sir. So you gave me consent to search the vehicle. When I looked under the radio compartment area, I found the little glass thing with black top, a little bit of marijuana residue. I'll be honest with you, that's not something really, that concerning. I open up the center console. Okay. You had a couple pieces of paper on top. Under those pieces of paper was the syringe with a white substance in it, wrapped in tinfoil. And inside of the tinfoil was a little plastic bag with a crystallized substance in it that did field test presumptive positive for methamphetamine.
It's not mine, sir. I swear to God, it's not mine. I don't want to do meth.
Whose is it?
I don't have
is
no
what
idea.
I need to figure out.
Yes, sir. Maybe somebody I picked up or something. I don't know, but they don't.
Shame on him, man.
All right.
I know you ain't gonna believe that.
Well, look, I'll tell you like I tell everybody, man, I have no reason to not
Hey,
believe
Jed.
you've not given me a reason yet. Okay, I really think you forgot about the little glass vial. That's fine. But I got to figure out
Now
why
he's
you
supposed
have the
to.
loaded syringe and the methamphetamine. Yeah, you know what that means when it's loaded.
It means he has stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. But it's not mine. I promise you.
Okay. All right. The needle's still attached to it and everything. So, and obviously I'm asking you these direct questions because you've been read your Miranda rights.
Yes, sir.
You don't have any idea whose stuff it could be?
No, sir. I don't want to hang around with people like that. I just go to work and come home. Man.
Okay. Man, you ever been arrested for anything before? You on probation or anything?
No, sir.
You on probation? Okay. You hang around anybody that uses methamphetamine?
No, sir.
You hang around anybody that uses methamphetamine?
Listen to him.
I go home and I go to work. That's all I do. I don't have no idea how that even got it.
He's planting the evidence.
Besides the little glass vial, okay, and the syringe, and like I said, you've not given me a reason to think you're lying, okay, except for the syringe, a little methamphetamine. Did I miss anything in the vehicle? You've not got anything under the hood, nothing like that, under the wheels, nothing like that?
No, sir.
Okay. When's the last time you smoked marijuana in the car?
A couple of days ago.
Okay. And you've never used methamphetamine?
I have in the past, but that's been a long time ago. I don't even mess with that stuff anymore.
Man, do you mind pulling your jacket sleeves up for me?
Yes, sir.
Here.
I don't use.
Okay. I don't see any track marks or anything.
I promise you, I don't use.
Okay.
I don't know how they even got in my purse. I promise you.
All right.
I already lost my kids and all because of stuff in the past. I don't mess with that stuff no more.
How old are your kids, man?
16, 15, and a couple younger ones, 8 and 9.
Man, how long you been working? Here, just step up. You can hold on to your dog, but that's fine. Let me try and miss anything on this here.
I know you don't believe me, but I promise
Buddy, look,
that's not mine. Man.
Look, man. We deal with this a lot, okay? I'm just going to be straightforward with you where I'm at from my standpoint, okay?
Yes.
I can't say, yeah, he's not using methamphetamine. No, he's not using methamphetamine. I don't know you.
I'm not even take a drug test.
Right.
Man. That's the only thing that's
I've never dealt with you before. I've never dealt with you on a traffic stop on a call, so I don't know. I don't know what your past is like. But the issue I run into though is whenever I search the vehicle and I find that, That's a felony charge in the state of Florida, okay? Man, it doesn't matter if it's one little, I'm going to say that's probably about a half a gram, maybe a little bit more of a half a gram of crystal methamphetamine. So you are going to jail tonight for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia, okay?
Shame on him, man.
But I'm willing to help you out on a couple of things, though. Do you have somebody that can come pick your car up and pick your dog up? Because if not, I'm about to tow your car and I'm about to get animal control to take possession of your dog.
You call my father-in-law, that'd be okay?
Where is he at? Where does he live? In Grand Ridge?
I mean, that's all the only person I have.
I would be willing to wait for him to get here. Okay, so here we go.
Shame on him.
Who's your father-in-law? Right.
He knows I don't even do anything.
Yes.
Just because they're nice and they smile at you does not mean that you know that they're a great person. Just because they say hello to you when they see you out in public does not mean they're your friend. I had to learn that the hard way.
Yeah, you good, man. I can imagine.
And I can live without somebody smiling in my face.
Did you get my Miranda time? Is that what you was writing down?
Yeah.
What's my Miranda time?
6:51.
Okay.
Or 6:50 is when you started
Oh,
reading it.
I'm sure.
2554.
You go put in the CAD notes. My Miranda time was 6:50.
Hey, John. I just got pulled over and they found stuff in my car it's not mine, but I need somebody to come get my car and I got my dog with me. And just take it to the house. They're gonna lock me up for a felony charge.
Innocent man with two
On
teenage
Highway
kids.
2. I mean, on Highway 2, like almost to Camel 2.
Close to St. Philip's Road, in between St. Philip's and Christmas.
In between St. Philip's and Christmas Road.
Yep.
Yes.
They say if you don't, you're gonna
He does go to
my car
prison.
and call the dog pound to come get my dog.
We're watching this in his trial. It happened
I
several
can't
years.
even, John. I don't
But
know what to do about
a lot of
my
people
dead
don't
rat.
know about it.
They found a needle in my car here, and I don't even use the needle. And I know you don't believe me either. I mean,
You think he's the only one?
I know because your wife is sick. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They don't never rat each other out.
I just know if it gets impounded, I'm not going to even have the money to even get my car back out.
Because if they do, they
That's
have to
another
admit
thing.
what
We got
they done.
money to even buy stuff like that anyways. I'm already living over $25 a day. I mean, and that's buying my cigarettes and food and gas to go back and forth to work. I mean, this is the first time I've been in jail for nothing. I ain't even done nothing.
He's testifying on the stand right now. That's what this is this guy's trial. This cop's
Yes,
trial.
I hate to even call you, but you're the only person I know that. He said he can come get it, but it'll be a while. I mean, could it be all right if you just leave it here?
Not with the dog in there, man.
He said it ain't gonna be all right to leave it here, not with the dog in there.
The dog wasn't in there. It's possible, but
I shouldn't even brought her, but she was in at the house all the time. She wanted to go with me, so I let her ride with me.
we just call animal control for the dog and let that sit there so you can get the car up. What you think?
Yeah, I'm not even believing this.
That's up to you, man. I don't know. I ain't never left one on the side of the road.
I hadn't even.
Can you talk to him? He'll say he'll be here in a couple hours to get it. So if you just
That's what me and was just talking about, man. I would.
The liability if
Here's,
someone
here's the thing. If I leave this car sitting here,
the dog and just
well, not even the dog, but if somebody comes and they hit this car,
yes, sir.
it's on us.
it's on me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's on me and my
Well, if I
certification.
pulled it over a little bit more.
And then if somebody steals your car, it's on me, buddy. It just doesn't. It don't work like that, man.
Where's your wife? Is she not? Is this
My
on?
wife can't drive. She's not even mentally
Oh, okay,
stable.
okay.
That's why I was just telling my father-in-law. I
Right.
don't know what I'm even going to do about my wife. I don't even. She's bipolar. She's can't
Right.
take care of her. She can't cook.
Do y'all live right there on that trailer on Prairie View?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't do nothing.
She's the one that be fighting all the time out there acting crazy.
She's just acting crazy. She ain't fighting with nobody. I mean, she trips out. I mean, that's not.
Is Deputies Lee's? Is that Deputies Lee's relatives' property?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
his, father or
Okay.
grandfather. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. I know.
I've been out there a
I know
couple times.
He knows I don't do anything. I mean, I just go home and come to work.
You mind saying about him? Just
Yeah.
in my car?
I don't know how that thing got in my car.
He didn't want to stand there and have to listen to all the stuff that he, I mean,
Yes, sir. They ain't gonna look at prints or nothing, probably, John. It's not mine, dude. I swear to God, it's not mine. I know you do, John.
that
And
poor.
when I did meth, I just smoked it. I never even shot it up. And that's been. I mean, I've been up here.
All right, Mr. Driggers, you make reference to you a couple times here on this video to using meth in the past, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you admitted to that to this
Yes,
deputy, right?
Yes,
how,
sir.
how long ago was it before this stopped that you were done using?
6 or 7 years.
All right, could you resume the video, Ms. Bittner?
7 years or something. I've been clean the whole 7 years. I even told him I'd take a drug test. I mean, the only thing I do, and you know what, that I smoke weed, that's all I do. I even told him that.
Okay. So let me stop that for a second. Tim Collins says this is why I can't watch anymore. Freaking tyrant cops. I said, you think he's the only one? Of course he's not. Steelman says, not only one, just the sloppiest. Okay, now this guy here, this cop, he had over 250 cases tied to him. Wester was fired on September 10th, 2018, long before the arrest. Over 250 cases tied to him were in question. That's a lot, right? Too many. Imagine being so dirty that the sheriff's office has to admit that 250 cases might be garbage. That's not a bad apple. That's a whole rotted orchard. Yeah. Now, we want to look at the trial records and the victim list. So I pulled all of these documents. Let's see, it was the Tallahassee Democrat 12 victims list. Each victim's arrest story. Each charge fabricated by Wester. Several cases where body cam contradicted his written reports. Those are all of the documents. If this had happened in eastern Kentucky, these victims would still be sitting in jail, waiting on a judge to look up from his biscuit long enough to pretend that he cared. Sorry, truth hurts. The Rico bomb. The First District Court of Appeals opinion. Most convictions were upheld. Racketeering conviction was vacated. The court says that RICO requires an enterprise, and Wester, he acted alone, because I'm always talking about organized crime. I think that we have an organized crime syndicate that's been happening right here in eastern Kentucky for a very long time. And one thing that we've also learned since the shooting of Judge Mullins is that a lot of this kind of corruption, this hometown woven into the fabric generational corruption happens everywhere. It ain't just happening here in eastern Kentucky. It's happening in every one of your states. It's happening in every one of our towns. That's huge. They say that Wester acted alone. Isn't that funny? Because who was approving his reports? Who was signing the warrants that he was putting in for? Who was ignoring the citizen complaints? Be sure, but sure, let's pretend that he acted alone. Bless their hearts. We can pretend that he acted alone. Now, if we look at the civil lawsuits and the settlements document, nearly $1 million settlement split among 33 victims. So several of you were saying, I hope this guy sued them. I hope these victims sued them. Well, what did I just read? Nearly $1 million settlement split among 33 victims. We've seen more money be awarded in damages for a broke pinky finger. Less than $30,000 each for years of trauma, jail time, lost jobs, and destroyed reputations. How much money you think they're going to settle for in Sabrina Adkins' case? Although I know it's different. Hers has completely different charges. But it really shows you the pattern of how serious they take, how seriously they take cops being the perpetrators. So for the years of trauma, the jail time, the false arrest, the humiliation, not to mention the inconvenience, but the lost jobs and the destroyed reputations. Because regardless of what the truth is, what do you think everybody thought when they heard that this man had been arrested for a syringe full of stuff? You know darn well nobody believed him when he said it ain't mine. $30,000? Honey, that's what one of these mountains good old boys pays every election to keep their power. Our people lose everything, and the system just shrugs. The silence that doesn't make sense. Here's the odd part. Not one supervisor flipped. Not one deputy spoke out. Not one prosecutor said, hey, these cases look funny. No, not one judge questioned the patterns. Nobody ratted. Nobody talked. Nobody noticed. Almost like he wasn't supposed to expose the bigger circle. So he became the fall guy to protect the machine. Oh, yeah. What do you all think? The function of a system is its outcome. The function of this system is extraction of value. Honey, I love it. I love just about everything that you put up. You're very, very smart. And I love how your brain works. I'm always looking for something that you're commenting on. Steel man, they were trapped in a system that was proven to all those innocents who pled guilty. I'm always telling people, which I'm no lawyer, remember, so I'm not giving no kind of legal advice, but I tell people all the time, if it were me, I would take it to the box every time. I think you have, especially if you're innocent. I mean, if I'm innocent, completely innocent. So if they're accusing me of sexually abusing some children, they're not going to have any digital evidence whatsoever. They're not going to have any messages, text messages, Snapchat messages, Facebook messages. They're not going to have anything like that that could even be misconstrued as inappropriate, right? And I'm going to fight that with everything in me. But if you're guilty and you take a plea and you get up in a courtroom, a closed courtroom, and plead guilty, and then you walk outside that courtroom door, you only had to say you were guilty inside, taking that plea. Once you leave there, you could be like Mr. Patrick Little and go around and tell everybody and their brother that he was innocent and that he got railroaded and that his lawyer made him take that plea. I mean, and he got the deal of the century. So, I mean, if you were set up and you were really innocent, then I think that you probably would have gotten some time, not got the deal of the century. I mean, you can't have it both ways, right? You can't say I got set up and then you got probation. You didn't get 1 day in jail, but you were facing 30 years. I think you got really, really good representation when your prosecutor is your defense attorney. When your defense attorney is your prosecutor. That hits a little different, doesn't it? Yeah. Anyway. Victor, as the Rolling Stone song says, Daddy, you're a fool to cry. A fool makes me wonder why. I don't know that Rolling Stone song. The Rolling Stones were a little bit before my time. So I never did get much into them. Sorry. But now, Stevie Nicks, Fleetwood Mac. Oh, yeah. Love her, love her, love her. Okay. Give me just a second. Okay. Now, theory segment. This is my theory segment. This ties this case to Appalachia, the corruption networks, and generational power. Why Wester got taken down and why our sheriff never will. You want to know why this dirty cop got caught in Florida, but the ones in Appalachia don't? It's simple. Florida has FDLE. They actually have an internal affairs division. They have multiple news outlets, not just the Mountain Eagle. They have public defenders who aren't cousins with the prosecutor. They have voters who aren't all controlled by two last names. They have outside oversight. Now, Appalachia has sheriffs related to the judge, prosecutors related to the judge, sheriffs related to the jailer, rehab owners in bed with the courts, small town politics protecting the powerful, and corruption so old that it's practically a family heirloom. Now, down there, a dirty cop is a PR nightmare. Up here, a dirty cop is an asset. That's a big difference. A big, big difference. I also what do you all think? I don't get pleading guilty, I guess is what you mean. I don't get pleading guilty to something you didn't do, but they do encourage it. That's right. They would rather you plead guilty so they don't have to take it to trial and so they don't have to prove you guilty. Because remember, the burden is always on the prosecution. The burden is theirs to prove you guilty. That's where that presumption of innocence is supposed to, be important. We're all presumed innocent until proven guilty. But you end up with a lot of prosecutors who care more about their win column than their conviction numbers than they do who's really guilty or innocent. They deal with so many people every single day that cases are just numbers to a lot of people in the legal system. You are just another folder with a name. It's another case. I understand that. I do. Any job, you're kind of going to have that. I wanted to talk about good cop versus bad cop because so many of us, we always say, oh, well, most of the cops that I deal with or that I've talked to are good cops. There's just occasionally a bad one. It was just one bad cop. Most are good. But here's the reality. A bad cop cannot exist without a supervisor who ignores red flags, fellow officers who stay quiet or behave in the same manner, prosecutors who accept shaky cases, judges who rubber stamp warrants, a department that avoids accountability, which I think that's all of them. One bad cop always requires a good system to protect him. A good cop is only good if they intervene, they report misconduct, which we see around here. If they report misconduct, they usually end up fired. They don't last very long. They refuse to cover up any kind of wrongdoing. Those are good cops if they do these things. And there's enough bad cops out there that I guarantee you could ask every single cop you know. Have they ever intervened? Have they ever reported? Do they refuse to cover up for their brother in blue? If they don't stay silent. If a good cop watches a crime happen and says nothing, they are not a good cop. Sorry. I don't care if they smile in your face and they say hello to you at the grocery store or the gas station, or if they have helped you at some other point in time. If they are avoiding all of this and they have turned a blind eye, then what they are is a quiet cop. And quiet cops protect bad cops. Quiet social workers protect bad social workers. Do you all know a social worker that every time you call them, they don't do anything? I do. Let's look at myths. The truth behind the myth. Myth 1. Bad cops are rare. Reality? Bad cops are only caught rarely. The systems that protect them are well-oiled and generational. Myth number 2. Most cops are good, and just a few bad apples spoil the bunch. Well, reality? The full saying is, a few bad apples spoil the whole barrel. That's the real saying. How many of you have heard people say, God will never give us more than what we can handle? That's not the scripture. That is not what it says. And the good cop, bad cop thing is not what it says. A few bad apples spoil the whole barrel. Not a few bad apples are no big deal. A rotten apple spreads rot. We know that. Put a rotten one in a bag full of good ones and see what happens. The barrel stays clean. Or if the barrel stays clean, the rot gets removed. But if the whole barrel is warm, closed, and unmonitored, what happens? Rot thrives. It's a pretty good illustration, isn't it? Myth number 3. Good cops report bad cops. Reality? Reporting a coworker gets you blackballed, gets you blacklisted. After it gets you fired. It also then gets you isolated. It ends your career, ruins your pension, puts a target on your back, paints you as not loyal. So even good-hearted officers stay silent because the culture punishes truth. it punishes truth tellers harder than it punishes criminals with badges. That is the truth. And those who stay silent resent those of us who don't, because I guess we remind them of what they refused to do. Myth number 4. A corrupt cop is a lone wolf. Reality: a lone wolf cannot plant evidence. A lone wolf cannot fabricate reports. A lone wolf cannot create fake narratives. They cannot arrest dozens or hundreds of people. They can't maintain patterns across for years. They get cases through prosecutors and judges. They avoid complaints getting traction unless the system around him either benefits, ignores, or protects him. Myth number 5. Oversight works. Reality: internal affairs often works for the department, not the public. In small communities, IA is just a deputy with a different desk, a sheriff's drinking buddy, a cousin of the DA. There's no oversight, just the appearance. And there's no, around here, there's not even an appearance of oversight. So, the real story. We're talking about one of the most dangerous myths in America. The idea that there are good cops and bad cops. And the two are completely separate. But real life ain't that simple. A bad cop never works alone. A bad cop needs silence. A bad cop needs a system to protect him. A bad cop needs supervisors who don't ask questions, who aren't confrontational enough to even approach those questions. A bad cop needs prosecutors who rubber stamp charges. And a bad cop needs judges who never look twice at what's in front of them. Just does what they're asked. And when that system stays silent, suddenly that one bad cop has a whole army behind him. Now let's talk about the so-called good cops. Because a good cop is only good when they're willing to stand up and say, hey, this is wrong. Hey, this report doesn't match the evidence. What are you doing? Hey, something feels off here. But when a good cop stays quiet, when good cops turn their head, when good cops protect the brotherhood instead of the community, they need to be replaced. They're not good cops anymore. They're quiet cops. And quiet cops are how corruption survives. Good cop versus bad cop. That argument only works in the movies, y'all. Out here in the real world, you don't just judge a cop by what he does. You judge him by what he refuses to stop. And when a whole department goes silent, when the whole department backs the crime or the criminal, that's when you know You're not looking at good cops and bad cops. You're looking at a system, and you're looking at organized crime. That's what you're looking at. Unfortunately, we are seeing more and more of it. And they refuse to do anything. Like the city, the mayor, the city council. They support the criminals around here. And the people that live around them are just forced, have their property taken over, and they're not going to stop anything. They'll make it so bad that, I mean, it's the Wild West. And if you call the police, you're taking the risk that you're going to be the one to go to jail. You're going to be the one to be seen as, you know, you're just a troublemaker. You're just causing trouble. So what? They've taken over half your property. Who cares? Do something about it. It's your property. Just move their stuff. What about if it's all big machines and, you know, they don't care. They don't care. My neighbors have taken over, have come back, you know, and we had gotten half of it cleaned out. He's just replaced it. But what are you supposed to do? Who are you supposed to talk to? It's just a fight constantly. They took out just like doctors, just like I did in Boy Scouts. How can I even call it police officer if they don't follow the oath? Well, they can't. They can't. They can't. A system of abuse falls apart when plausible deniability ends. Absolutely. Die on a snitch, but don't play dirty to get people that snitch. Well, that was something else I wanted to mention with this kind of stuff. Like him, he couldn't roll over and rat on his buddies because he can't admit to what he did. He's the fall guy. He's the one that's going to go down, but he can't like trade off of any information that he has about other dirty cops. He can't do that because his whole strategy in defense is that I didn't do this. I'm innocent. I didn't do that. He can't admit that he was actually planting evidence. I mean, he could, but they don't. They don't admit to what they did. Ben Fields did. Barely. Barely. It took the investigator himself feeding him his testimony for him to finally pick up on it. Oh, yeah, okay. I mean, I've never in my life heard a more, I mean, those interviews in my mind are evidence of witness tampering. I don't know how you can read or listen to those interviews between our Kentucky Attorney General's office, their lead investigator, questioning the victims of Ben Fields. He treated those women more as suspects and criminals than he did Ben. I don't listen. We all know about the Reed technique, but that's BS because that ain't what he was using it for. And all you got to do is listen to it to be able to tell that. I mean, it's just unbelievable They ought to use that going forward as what not to ever do to a victim of sexual violence. Unbelievable. All right, there was a couple other things that I wanted to. I may have done away with it though. I think I did. We'll save it for next time then. We've been on here an hour and a half. That's enough for tonight. They still have not found Travis Turner. Very, very interesting. Travis Turner is not well, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. I can. There were a couple little things that I was going to show you all. Yeah, it didn't take me no time just to pull it right back up. So this was the New York Post article, and it was on Facebook, and they said missing football coach Travis Turner scrubbed from high school's website after child sex allegations. Okay, Marnie, thank you. Check my email. Lexington police. Let me read this real fast. It says, Lexington police arrested Lowe in 2014, charged 2 felony counts of first-degree S-word, sodomy, and 1 felony count of first-degree sexual abuse. A female relative accused Lowe of sexually chestering her several times from 2010 to 2012. When she was 7 and 8 years old, Lowe repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. After the case continued in Fayette Circuit Court for several years, the charges were reduced to 3 misdemeanor counts of unlawful transaction with a minor. Lowe entered an Alford plea, which lets a defendant acknowledge that prosecutors have enough evidence to convict him without admitting guilt. He was sentenced to time served, getting credit for his brief stay in jail. And who was that? Lowe. All right, let me open this up here. Thank you, honey. This is Yahoo News. Lexington Herald leader. Whatever happened to controversial dismissal of Lexington Red Rum case? Okay, we'll go down through them. Kentucky's top prosecutor. So, and that's Russell Coleman. That's the one that is such good friends with ARC's founder, Tim Robinson. So Tim Robinson went to school, went to law school or went to college, one, with this guy. And I don't know if they were actual roommates in college or if they were just classmates. I don't know. But they were apparently very close. They're all attorneys. ARC's founder, Tim Robinson, is a lawyer. That's what his trade was a lawyer. And per his own testimony, he became an alcoholic. And I could see him being an old drunk lawyer. There's a whole lot of alcoholic attorneys. There's a whole lot of alcoholics that are all kinds of that are all kinds of professions. So it ain't just attorneys, but I do know an awful lot of them that are alcoholics, that's for sure. But anyway, so he went to treatment maybe, or he got sober. I don't know. But he started a sober house, a sober living house. He started one sober living house, quit being a lawyer, and from that one, well, he probably didn't quit being a lawyer, but he went from being an attorney every day to running ARC, Addiction Recovery Care. So you go from, you know how much lawyers make, a big money. So you went from making all that big money to running ARC, one sober living house, and in like 1 year, you went from one sober living house to being the leading rehab in the state of Kentucky with more houses and beds than any facility in the state. How do you do that without some, getting some red tape? If he didn't get the wheels greased by his buddies to do that, then that means there isn't any wheels to grease in there. That means they can just do whatever they want to do. They can set it all up and do it all in that fast. That means that there's no red tape for them to go through then. Is that what that means? No red tape? Debbie Hall announces run. What's she running for, y'all? She running for coroner? What's she running for? Well, yeah, I got a whole bunch of them. Oh, this one. Okay, yeah, I got it, Miss Donna. Okay. It hit me, so I'm glad you copied and pasted it because it's not going to let me read it. But we'll pull it over and show the picture on it. Debbie Hall, Amber Spradlin's cousin, speaks to a crowd about Spradlin's murder during a press conference at the Floyd County Courthouse, June 29th, 2023. Hall announced her candidacy for judge executive on Monday. That was on my birthday, November 26th. She's going to run for judge executive. Let me get over here and read. It says, the Eastern Kentucky doctor who became a vocal advocate for police reform after the 2023 fatal stabbing of her cousin in Prestonsburg, is entering the race for Floyd County Judge Executive. Debbie Hall, 58, a Prestonsburg physician, filed with the Floyd County Clerk's Office November 24th to run as a Republican against independent Judge Executive Robbie Williams in next year's general election. Go, Miss Debbie. I encourage anybody and everybody that is of voter's age, please, in Floyd County, please vote for Miss Debbie. Honey, she's the only one that I know, and she's a doctor, so it's not like she's not educated. She's a very educated woman. And she's been fighting the system ever since her cousin was murdered. So she knows all about the corruption. She knows where it's at. She knows she has been the target of a lot of people in that county since she spoke out. I mean, how do they expect people to respond, right? How do you expect me to respond to my cousin being murdered? You expect me to just go away quietly and not say anything? Well, most of us independent, strong, educated women do not do as we are told very well. Let me put that back up there so y'all can see the picture, and I'll go back over here and read it. Debbie Hall, 58, a Prestonsburg physician, filed. Okay. Hall has been critical of Williams, the incumbent, in the wake of the murder of Amber Spradlin, highlighting his role in reorganizing the county's 911 dispatch center before her death. Hall is the cousin of Spradlin, the 38-year-old woman who was found dead of multiple stab wounds at the home of a prominent Prestonsburg dentist in June of 2023. After the Red Rhyme, Hall helped launch a community action group called Justice for Amber that pressured local authorities to make arrests in the case. The group has also accused city and county leaders of failing to adequately respond to repeated 911 calls from the home that night. Police have accused Michael M.K. McKinney III, 25, of murdering Spradlin. His father, Prestonsburg dentist Michael McKinney II, 57, a family friend, Josh Mullins, 25, have also been charged with tampering with evidence. The three were arrested more than a year after the killing, and Hall has since lobbied for a bill in Frankfort to speed up the criminal justice system by boosting funding for the Kentucky State Police Crime Lab, saddled with an evidentiary backlog. How come our state reps are not already doing that? How come these people that we have elected as our state representatives have not already addressed the backlog of evidence? Rape kits, R-word kits, I'd say there's all kinds of cases that have biological evidence that needs to be tested. Not just those cases, all kinds of cases, I'm sure.
There's some kid that you could steal from this kid.
Okay. The Red Rum trial was set to get underway against MK next week, but was postponed earlier this month due to some blood evidence still awaiting DNA testing. If you're going to complain a lot, you ought to put some actions behind your words, Hall said Monday afternoon after filing for office. Williams, 57, who is running for his third term as judge executive, is one of several city and county officials named in a civil lawsuit the Spradlin family filed last year, accusing leaders of failing to keep adequate staffing and policies in place at a joint city and county 911 dispatch center. And I keep saying, people are going to have to be held accountable. Sometimes the only way we can do that is through civil suits. I am one that will spend my money to sue you. I will. I'm not afraid to spend my money to prove a point. Most people won't do that. Most people take the fail and just move on because it's easier. It costs a whole lot of money. It costs a whole lot of time and a whole lot of stress, and stuff. It's not pleasant to go through a civil lawsuit. It's very stressful. So I hear. But just as they tried all that stuff with the social workers and the courts with me, I knew the only chance I had was to file that appeal. The appeal was my only option. Most people would probably just throw it up and throw it in the garbage and wouldn't think twice about it. You better, because if they open a case on you, then you automatically go on a registry. Your name goes on a neglect and child abuse registry for 7 years. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. And if they're doing other people like they did me, they hounded me every day, screaming at me, threatening me to voluntarily sign and allow them to open a case on me. Now, what do I have? Stupid wrote across my forehead, because no, I was not going to do that. And because I would not cave to their threats and their intimidation to voluntarily sign and let them open a social services case on me, they we've got this program. We will give you $500. All you have to do is just sign right here on this dotted line. Sign right here on this X. And if there's anything in your house that's tore up, if you need a step replaced, if you need a part for your refrigerator, anything, we can fix it. $500. I don't want your $500. You take it and keep it. I'm not that desperate. It is wrong what they do to people and how they abuse their knowledge of the system and how the system works to threaten people. So I knew that I had to do that appeal because I would not voluntarily sign. So because I would not voluntarily sign, they went to a grand jury and got some BS indictment, and then they used the indictment as what they used to substantiate opening a case on me, which they were not allowed to do. You cannot use an indictment because it's not a conviction. They manufactured an indictment at a grand jury. Edison Banks, an officer, Alan Borums, and he's social workers. Well, I won in the end, like I said, but it took a long time. And I had to go through a lot of trauma. And my children were changed forever after that experience. Changed forever. He's still a cop right here in Letcher County. I wonder who else he's done dirty because they hurt his feel-bads. Back to Miss Debbie Hall. If you're going, okay. At least 2 911 calls were made from the McKinney home the night of Spradlin's murder. Police weren't dispatched after the first call was placed because the elder McKinney intervened, the lawsuit claims. Spradlin is still believed to have been alive at that time, according to the suit. Hall is not a direct party in the lawsuit. She has said it's very likely that Amber would still be alive today if the police had responded to the first call. The Floyd County Fiscal Court voted on Williams's recommendation to transfer 911 communications from a KSP post in Pikeville to the joint city-county venture in December of 2022, about 6 months before Spradlin's murder. That decision was not widely publicized, Hall said Monday, but it serves as an example of the kind of key public policies that need more public scrutiny. I want to know where the tax dollars are being spent, Hall said. I want to know who's getting awarded the contracts. So do we. We want to know those very same questions for our county. Yes, we do. I lost my place. Let me get back to it. There we are. Just more transparency for people out in the county to know what's going on with our government. Williams declined to comment Tuesday on Hall's decision to enter the race or the criticisms that she has leveled against him, but he has remained supportive of local control over emergency service dispatch. The 911 Communications Center has adopted modern computer-aided systems not in place under KSP control, according to Prestonsburg city officials. Hall and Williams clashed publicly last year when the local physician accused the judge executive of spreading a rumor that she was involved in an alleged Red Rum for Hire plot against M.K. McKinney. She had a phone call. Somebody had gotten arrested in the jail, and they called her to ask if she would bail them out. And I listened to the city council or the fiscal court meeting that she went to. And so whoever it was, that called her asking her to bail him out, she said, and she was laughing when she said it, but she was like, you need to just stay in there. MK will be in there shortly or something like that. And she laughed or something. That was all she said. She just made a comment, you know, while she was on the phone, and she didn't go bail that person out, whoever it was. It was a very innocent thing, I think. And the judge executive there in that county tried to make it out to be something that it wasn't. Or at least that's what I thought, anyway. Well, that happened a long time ago, Steel Man. It happened a long Steel Man seeking. It was like in 2018 when that happened. I had just graduated 4 days before that with my bachelor's degree. And so I still hadn't even went for my master's. I didn't take off any time. So I graduated one day and then I started graduate school 2 weeks later. And that incident with me happened in between graduating and starting graduate school. And it devastated me. It devastated our lives for a long time. And I had to endure a 6-month long case with social services because they had opened that they had opened that case using that indictment, and there wasn't nothing I could do. I was forced to endure it. They knew I had Ned Pillersdorf as an attorney at that time, so they didn't do anything other than open the case. And they made me go through the 6 months, and then at the end of the 6 months, they closed it. And then when she came out to tell me it was closed, they handed me that appeal paper, and I appealed it, and I won. But, took a long, long time to get all that over with. All right. During the public comment portion of a fiscal court meeting in September of 2024, Hall said she received a call from an inmate, here it is, at the Floyd County Detention Center who asked her for money to bail him out of jail. In the recorded call, which occurred a few months before any arrests were even made in Spradlin's case. So MK hadn't even been arrested yet. And so how would she know that they were even going to arrest him, right? That's ridiculous that they did that to her. But we see it. We see that's how they do. Sorry, I lost my place here. She received a call from the inmate who was asking for money to bail him out of jail. In the recorded call, which occurred a few months before any arrests were made, she told the inmate she hoped he would remain at the detention center until MK McKinney was jailed. And then she giggled. I heard it. Hall said a recording of the call was used by Williams then to damage her character during the September 24 hearing. Only in eastern Kentucky would the Floyd County Judge Executive be trying so hard to make a murder victim's family member look like a criminal, Hall said at the hearing. Williams said he had been anonymously given a recording of the call, but denied spreading allegations about Hall. Neither Hall nor Williams have taken legal action over the dispute. Hall said she does not want her campaign for judge executive to be solely about her cousin's murder and declined to discuss specific qualms she has with any city or county officials. She said running for office will be a learning curve and pledged to announce a platform soon. She did say her experience as a family physician has demonstrated the need for improved public transportation in the region and additional scrutiny over public funding for drug addiction recovery centers. Creating a thriving local economy that can attract major high wage industries will be one of her top priorities, she added. I'd just like to see the county move forward and see us be able to catch up with other places in the state and in the nation eventually, she said. We seem to be so far behind on things here in eastern Kentucky, that's for sure. In an emailed statement to the Herald Leader, Williams said he is proud of his accomplishments as judge executive, including improved economic development projects, of course, because they're all grant funded, and fiscally sound budget. He pledged to continue working hard on behalf of all county residents. We have managed to do great things for Floyd County, he wrote. It is my goal to foster an environment that creates a better quality of life for all Floyd Countians. Thank you, honey. That was a very, very important one. So that is the update on the Spradlin case. Debbie Hall is running for judge executive, and I hope she wins. If there is anything that we can do here at Hillbilly Crime, we support her 1,000% and her campaign. I think that we need more people to fill these positions that are not lawyers. We've got enough attorneys. We got enough attorneys in these public offices, man. We got enough butt kissers in these offices. We need to get rid of a bunch of them. All right. And then there was this other one. Let me read it real quick. Floyd County Chronicle and Times. So this is the same county that Debbie Hall is from, Floyd County. A Floyd County Chronicle and Times staff report says that Floyd County jailer Steve Little said in a statement that a detainee, this was 4 hours ago, a detainee at the Floyd County Detention Center was found unresponsive and later declared dead on November 29th. According to the statement, at 12:57, so that would have been like 1 o'clock p.m., jail staff found an adult male detainee whose name has not been initially released, unresponsive in a shower. That doesn't sound good. Although life-saving measures were attempted, this individual was pronounced deceased shortly after arrival at Highlands ARH Hospital, Little said in a statement. The statement said the death is under investigation by Prestonsburg Police Department. And they've not said any name. Praying for the family. I've had grandsons in that jail. I was so worried the whole time, but so far they've stayed out of jail. They are staying out of jail. Can't someone simple ask? Let's see. No names have been released. Oh no. This is not the first time an incident of this magnitude has happened in the Floyd County Jail, Prestonsburg, Kentucky. Prayers for the family, prayers for the family. Question: how many people are currently running or plan to run for this position? Way past due for a lot of change in that corrupt town. Being unresponsive inside, these are comments. Being unresponsive inside the shower seems like it was a physical altercation, at least in my experience. And inside that jail, it could be an hour or two before the COs even come in and check on the person who's been assaulted. Or it could have been someone who done some type of rugs and felt like he done too much, so he went to see if a shower would help and got drug into the shower by other inmates to try and help. They don't have cameras in the shower, so it'll be hard telling what happened to him until they get the autopsy. And then people are talking about who's going to run for jailer and who's going to run here in Letcher County for a lot of these positions. I'm going to drop my name in the hat for something. I'm not really sure what yet, but I'm going to but I'm not going to do no campaigning. I'm not going to spend a dime on no campaign signs. I'm not going to do any of that because none of that matters. None of that matters. You can do more on social media, I think, than you can with any yard signs. It's a popularity contest. People are going to vote for you simply whether they like you or whether they don't. My education is not going to matter to, I very seriously doubt it will matter to many. It might matter to people who actually care about competence. But sadly, I don't think that's why most around here get their votes. Matthew, my 15-year-old hates my jokes. Guess I'm not hip enough. How did it get to this? My parents were so boring when I grew up. Don't feel bad. My son hates my jokes too. But I have a very dark, odd sense of humor. I laugh when I shouldn't. Can't help it. It is more of a anxious or anxiety. It's more of a nervous tick, I guess. My laugh. When I get nervous, I laugh. I cannot help it. I can be in big, big, big trouble and I'll be giggling because I don't know what else to do with myself. And I can't stop. I'll start giggling and just cannot quit. And there have been times where I would get started and mommy would get so mad at me that before you knew it, me and her both were laughing our butts off on the ground. That's interesting. Well, you can request jail calls, like through a public records request. You can request people's jail calls. I haven't done it, but that's how a lot of these channels get theirs. They just request them in a public records request. Whenever that guy was confronted about using that call of hers, I saw one of the news people had a microphone in his face and was asking him about it. And to the best of my recollection, he said that somebody had brought him a recording of it, and to authenticate it, he filed a public records request for the call and got it himself through the legal action channels. So I'm pretty sure that jail recordings jail calls can be obtained through public records requests. I wish some of our diggers could get that kind of stuff. And we can. We just got to know what to ask for and who the appropriate entity is that we send that public records request to. I think you have to send it to the 911 honestly, I don't know who keeps those calls. Would you ask the jail? Would you send it to the jail? Or would you send it to the place that they contract for their calls? Because they contract with a company to do phone calls, jail calls. I want all of that information. I want to know who all the contracts are given to and how. And then all we have to do is do a search on like Truth Finder and see who all their associates are and who owns it, what all assets they own. Like, that Truth Finder is a pretty awesome thing. I haven't really I don't have a lot of time to dedicate to that kind of research. I wish I did, but I don't. Running everything else just does not afford me that. I need way more hours in a day. Or, well, I just need help. Research. Okay. All right. That's true, Victor. That's true. Steel man, which of those jailers let the rugs in? Yes, you do need to network. Go to public functions and talk to people. That's why these festivals at our local festivals do so good for campaigning. If you're running in an election, you better have your tent set up. You better have your $50 turned in and show up at Neon Days, Jenkins Days, Isom Days. You got to show up to all of those festivals and have a booth and let people know that you're running. And then it's just eeny, meeny, miny, mo, or who they like better, who they like the best. I don't like that setup. I don't like that. I don't think that a popularity contest should get the vote, should win the election, but that's the way it is. Why don't witches wear underwear? To get a better grip on the broomstick. Ah. thinking he's still running. I saw his signs in the. Now he's got him some signs up in people's yards. I hope he wins for jailer. I do. I hope he wins. We have got to get that clown bunch that's in there now out of there. Snatch. We're so bad. We're so bad. uh, belly laugh. Yeah. We have a great time. Oh. I wanted a yard sign, even though I don't live in that county. Well, you never know. I am I might as well call myself the Queen Waffler now. Gavin can stay a professional waffler. I will knight myself Queen Waffler. All right. Thank you, Jesus, for another day being able to come together in your name, Lord. I praise you, Jesus. I thank you, Lord. I thank you, Lord. And I'm going to pause that prayer halfway through. And where's my Bible? Gotta be up here. There ain't many of us on here right now anyway. So we'll read one before everybody goes away. And I'm just gonna open it up somewhere and start reading. All right. Look here. My Bible is all jacked up. Matthew chapter 5 or chapter 25. Then shall the kingdom of heaven be likened unto 10 virgins, which took their lamps and went forth to meet the bridegroom. And 5 of them were wise, and 5 were foolish. They that were foolish took their lamps, and took no oil with them. But the wise, they took oil in their vessels with their lamps. While the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. And at midnight there was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh. Go ye out to meet him. Then all those virgins arose, and they trimmed their lamps. And the foolish ones, they said unto the wise, Give us of your oil, for our lamps have gone out. But the wise answered, saying, No, lest there be not enough for us command you. But go ye rather to them that sell and buy for yourselves. Hurry, go get your own. And while they went to buy, the bridegroom came. And they that were ready went in with him to the marriage, and the door was shut. Afterward came also the other virgins, saying, Lord, Lord, open the door to us. But he answered and said, Verily I say unto you, I know you not. Watch therefore, for ye know neither the day, not the hour, wherein the Son of Man cometh. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man traveling into a far country, who called his own servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents. To another he gave 2. And to another one, to every man according to his several ability. And straightway took his journey. Then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded with the same, and made them another 5 talents. So he invested his 5, and he made 5 more. And likewise, he that had received 2, he also gained another 2. But he that had received 1, well, he went and dug in the earth, and he hid his Lord's money. After a long time, the Lord of those servants came, and he reckoned with them. He checked on them. And so he that had received 5 talents came and brought another 5 talents, saying, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained beside them 5 talents more. His Lord said unto him, Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. He also that hath received 2 talents came and said, Lord, thou deliveredst unto me 2, and behold, I've gained 2 other talents besides them. His Lord said unto him, Well done, you good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter thou into the joy of the Lord. Then he which had 1 talent came and said, Lord, I knew that thou art a hard man, reaping what thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. So there thou hast that is thine. So there you have what's yours. I saved it. I didn't go invest it. I was afraid of you. You are such a hard man. And I know that you reap when you didn't sow and you do all this. And I was afraid. So I took it, dug a hole in the ground and buried it so I could give it back to you. I was too afraid to lose it. His Lord answered and said unto him, Thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knewest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Thou oughtest therefore to have put my money to the exchangers, and then at my coming I should have received mine own with usury. And that means in interest. He would have got interest with it. Take therefore the talent from him and give it to the one that has 10 talents. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he has. So even the ones that have nothing, next to nothing, he's going to take that too. And cast ye the unprofitable servant into outer darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. And we'll stop there. Just a little reading. Just a little reading. Everybody, we all have to pray and ask God to reveal all this stuff to us personally. Because it's all, on a personal basis. I can't get nobody else into heaven, and nobody can get me into heaven. So, we have to do what we have to do. Thank you, Jesus. I love you so much, Lord. I'm so thankful for you in my life. I'm thankful for all the blessings, all the lessons that you've taught me, and that you continue to teach me, because I sure am not where I aspire to be. I pray, Lord, that you have mercy on us all. I pray for your grace daily. I'm so thankful that I woke up this morning and have another day to be with my kids. Have another day to try and get it right. I fall on my face every single day. I do not do well when I am pushed, Lord. I know that we are not put here to be whipping posts. We are not put here to be abused. And I do not believe that you have that as what we should do. No, I do not. I pray, Lord, that you just keep showing us the way. Show me how to deal with things, certain things, because I still struggle. I struggle. I sure do. I love you, Lord. I thank you for making a way in my life. You always make a way, no matter what's going on. You always make a way. I rebuke the devil, Lord. I rebuke him in the name of Jesus. And whatever the devil means for evil, I pray that you turn it around for the good of those who love you and who are called according to your purpose. You always call people, call the ones who the masses think are unqualified. You qualify the unqualified. For all those that don't know you tonight, Lord, I pray that you soften their hearts and that the Holy Ghost guides them to you. I pray for mercy and grace. Above all, I pray for healing. I pray that you touch each and every single one of us according to our need, no matter what it is, whether it's physical, medical, emotional, or financial, Lord. We have to have faith that you will provide. I know you will. There's not a doubt in my mind. All you have to do is speak it, Lord. We shall be healed in more ways than just bodily. Above all, I pray for the spiritual healing, because without that, none of the rest of it even matters. I love you, Jesus. I pray that you go with us tonight and bring us back safe at the appointed time. And until then, we give you all praise, honor, and glory. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name. Amen, y'all. Have a good night. Don't let them bed bugs bite. And we love our Hillbilly family. It sure wouldn't be. It wouldn't be here at all without Philip. He is our numero uno. We love you, buddy. Sure would not be what it is without you. So disturbing. He was so polite and compliant. Why would he be raked over the coals like that? His little dog was so well behaved. My dogs would have lost their full minds. Mine too. I don't take mine out. I keep mine at home. But only because my other dogs would always go out. But I had an older vehicle and I didn't care about it. I bought my truck a couple years ago. I had no other choice. My car died. I had to buy one. And I bought my truck. And I didn't want my dogs to tear up my seats. So I've never put them in my truck. And I will keep them out of my truck. They can stay at home. All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, Girl Scout.
From hillbilly crime, you can't hide from hillbilly crime. You may not know that there's a crew in town. The head hillbillies are making their rounds. Small town whispers loud and clear. The sheriff shot the judge in his chambers chair.
Sheriff got a secret he won't keep. Judge shot dead in his disbelief. A lot of people have some stories to tell. Dog passed away, get the sound of a shotgun shell.
All the secrets spill on down. Voices loud in this old town. From the courthouse to the ground. Rumors fly and they can't be bound.
Neighbors hide behind their blinds. Whisper tales of troubled minds. Skeletons covering the mountainside. A treacherous reality in the pines.
Winter reveals the hidden lies. Moonlight couldn't match the cries. Shadows caught in sunlit skies. There's no cover, no disguise.